So I'm doing something a little bit different with this video. Not too long ago, I put out a story on Instagram asking for as many questions on anything that people wanted to ask me. And I was going to put it into a video and we'll just do a full, I don't know how long this is going to be, maybe 20, 30 minutes tops of just me going through all these questions. Some are a bit silly, some are quite good, and just giving answers off the top of the dome. So without further ado, let's get into number one. So the first one that come in was, how much do you earn? Which is very direct. So if we're looking at monthly, this past month was about $62,000. I think it come out to about £54,000. Depends where you're watching it, but hopefully that gives context. The past 6 months was about $230,000, something like that. And in the past 12 months, maybe about 400K, something along those lines. So I don't think any more needs to be said on that one. How do you actually make your money? Solely through Squarespace in two verticals, I'd say. So the main driver of income is my company, By Crawford, which just designs and builds Squarespace websites, bespoke Squarespace websites for clients all across the world. And that makes up probably 90% of my income. And then the other 10% is through Six Figure Design Club. So I think there's a question on this somewhere. I can't remember. But basically, Six Figure Design Club, for those who don't already know, is my coaching program / course where I take Squarespace designers who are either just at the start of their journey. Well, it doesn't really matter where you are. I'll make you more money if you're a Squarespace designer, basically. So there's like 80 something lessons. There's a community, work one-on-one with me, so you can message me anytime. And yeah, there's loads. So I'll put a link down below. And the entry at the moment for that, we're going application only 1st of May. But the current entry, it costs $4,000. So that makes up about 10% of my income. What's next? What's the course with Iman? So I haven't really spoken anywhere about this, to be honest. But I think I put a story up not too long ago. But anyway, Iman, for those who don't know who Iman is, it's Iman Gadzi, big YouTuber. And basically someone recommended me to be a coach in his course. So he has a platform, it's pretty new. It's called Digital Launchpad. And within, you pay like $37 a month. It's like ludicrously cheap. So you pay $37 a month. And then within there, you get access to like, I don't know, maybe 12, 15 courses, or it will be 12 or 15 courses. So big YouTubers like Hamza, Mike Thurston, Jordan Welch, tons of other people. Basically, whoever's at the top of their respective field, they are a coach in there. So they have their own course aimed at helping you make your first $1,000 online. Or most of them are. Some others are about like lifestyle setup. But anyway, someone said to Iman, because I'm kind of in the same circle through a membership network, and he was like, Sam's the guy for Squarespace. He teaches people how to make a ton of money with Squarespace, and it's like the most perfect way to make your first $1,000 online. And then obviously Iman's looked at this and gone, yeah, it is actually. So what I'm doing is a mini version of Six Figure Design Club with a ton of different other things. But instead of aiming at current Squarespace designers who want to scale to 10K, what I'm aiming at is complete beginners who want to make their first $1,000 online. So it's all geared towards that. So for $37, you'll be taught how to make your first $1,000 online, plus, how to scale a little bit more. And the idea off the back of that is you get a taste for that. If you want to scale to whatever, then you can join Six Figure Design Club if you want to go to that next level. So that's the course with Iman. I'm actually shooting that, when? Saturday? Well, that has no bearing on you if you're watching this in like a year's time. But I'm shooting in a few days for that. So that should be live, I would think, in a couple of months. And I'll drop the link to digital Launchpad in the description. Next is, do you make more money selling courses than designing now? Kind of answered that before, but no. People will say to me, oh, well, if you're making so much money designing websites, why do you sell a course? And I get it to some degree. But the reality is there's, I don't know, like 4 million Squarespace websites in the world. I only design roughly 100 of those per year. And then obviously DIYs and stuff. But there's literally, I'd say, maybe a million of those were designed by professionals. So, you know, there is too much work, some would say, out there. So why can't I teach the gold standard? Why can't I set the industry standard for how, you know, an A1 Squarespace project should look? Why can't I tell people or teach people how to scale to 6 figures? Why can't I? I do it all for free on YouTube. And then if you want the fast lane, if you want it all together, then you go into the course. So I get where people come from with that comment, but it's like, well, I could make, you know, if I get 100 people sign up to the course in the next year, that's 400,000 for me. But then there's enough work so that all of those 400 people who sign up, all of those 100 people who sign up can all make 6 figures and beyond and live the life that they dreamt of. So they're winning, they're set up for life. I'm getting a nice cash injection and I'm still doing the thing that I teach. So it's not just BS. You know, it's not outdated, stale advice. I'm still staying at the cutting edge or the bleeding edge of what makes a Squarespace web design business great. And I can make even more money through my own business. I don't know, it pisses me off. It pisses me off, that comment. So hopefully no one comments it. Anyway, that's that. What does your day look like? So I will tell you exactly what my day looks like. I don't know if you probably can't even see that. But basically, I'll get up 7:45. I'll have first port of call is to go for a wee. Then I'll weigh myself, get ready, and then I'll go straight into, it's called box breathing. So it's just like, it's meditation, but it sounds cooler. Then I'll get out for a walk. So 30 minutes, fresh air. Then I have something called, I go through many iterations of what I call it, but it's basically just have a coffee, strategy recap. So I go through, I've got a video on this where I go through my, pre-season for the year ahead. So I set my pre-season intentions and then it's basically a strategy. So I'll recap that every single morning. Then I do my daily tracker. So weight, did I work out, sleep score, steps, calorie intake, all of this just for my health coach that I can send on to him. Then I'll do my expenses. So I'm a big spreadsheet nerd. So I'll do income, color-coded, expenses, color-coded outgoing. So like blue is a business expense, red is personal expense, gray is just, it is what it is. Then I'll do pitching. So that'll be my first pitching session of the day where I'll go and hunt for work. So even though I'm towards the top of the game, I'm still looking on all the jobs boards, trying to get more work in. I'm not just relying solely on outbound, not solely relying on inbound, should I say. Then I'll do inbox zero. So my inbox tends to get really, really clogged really, really quickly because I have 3 different emails. So by Crawford, 6 Figure Design Club, and then the personal email. Then I've got the 6 Figure Design Club community, which I'm in all day, every day. Then I've got one-to-one coaching mentees. So they have my number and we go back and forth every day. Then I've got YouTube comments, then Instagram comments, then Instagram messages, then other WhatsApp messages, then Telegram. It's a mess. It's just so many messages. So if you're watching this and you haven't heard from me, I'm sorry. But anyway, I'll try and clear that. Then I will go and do a physical activity of sorts, or of any sort. Does that even make sense? Most of the time, it's just in the gym. So basically, I'm trying to do more mobility. So I'll start off with mobility, probably about once a week if I'm lucky. Then I'll do either the gym, or I've just started yoga. What else have we got? That's about it, really. Or maybe a run. Then sauna, shower, get ready. Then I get into the deep work. So all the inbox is cleared. I've done the hard physical stuff for the day, been out for a walk, whatever. Then so I've got another phone. So I'll take the SIM out of this, put the SIM in. It's just like an iPhone SE, but it doesn't have any apps on. It's just in case someone needs to ring me. So I'll stick it into that. This gets locked away. I've got a lockbox where you can set a timer for how long you want it to lock for, basically. And there's no way to override it. So that way I'm not wasting time on Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever. Because if I go on Instagram and I see a reel, I'm just like, and then before you know it, I've watched like the most ridiculous, obscene content that Instagram wants to serve up. It's like you could go from watching a baby laugh to then watching someone get hit off a bike on the motorway or something stupid, and then you've watched an hour of it. Anyway, so that's that. Then, so that deep work session will go on for 1.5 hours. So that's from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Then from 3:30 p.m. it's like shallow work. So my call slots for the day. So whenever I take calls with clients or potential clients, that is from 3:30 to 7 p.m. So that covers, the last 1.5 hours of the UK time zone, and then whatever is in the US, or I don't think that captures Australia or New Zealand, but most of my clients are in the US, so that tends to appease them. And then if I don't have calls, I'll just do shallow work, like moving some project along, or maybe I'll slip in 20 minutes of deep work or whatever. And then within whatever gap I get, I'll eat something as well. Now, the annoying thing for me has always been it takes me so long to cook and then sit down and eat and whatever. So it tends to take me out of my focus. So what I've done, and obviously not everyone can do this, well, most people can't do this, which makes me sound quite out of touch, but I've just hired a private chef. So he'll just prep my meals. He doesn't like come in, but he'll cook them in whatever kitchen he has and then deliver them at the beginning of the week. And then all I have to do is just pop it in the oven or whatever. And then it's just ready and I don't have to think about it. And weirdly, so this costs, for all the ingredients and his time and expertise, it costs just over £200, like £208 per week, which I think is like it's excellent value. It's not cheap, but it's excellent value, because I was already spending like £120, £130 on food a week anyway. And like a meal prep service, you know the ones where they give you like the plastic Tupperware, that's like 180-ish a week, something like that. So the fact that you can get a bespoke, I'm not on commission for this guy, by the way, but the fact that you can get bespoke meals delivered by like a qualified chef for just over £200, I think that's, especially if you're a business owner, I think that's great value. I wouldn't recommend it for people who aren't business owners who have time to do it or enjoy cooking, but anyway, this is my day plan. So then it gets to around 8 p.m. and then I'll stick on some blue light blocking glasses. To be honest, I never really do that. I always forget. Then I will, again, probably never do this, but I've got an app called Pliability, which helps me work on mobility. So the aim is to do that for 10 minutes every day. It doesn't mean I always do it. And then I've got a journal. It's called like 1 line a day. So I'll just write down like what happened in the day for 1 line. And then finally, I'll just clear the inbox again, do one more session of pitching, do check-ins with my coaches. So I've got a business coach and a fitness coach. So I'll just check in with them. And then I'll do an accountability check-in. So there's an accountability group in Six Figure Design Club. Lead by example, put an accountability check-in, aka what I've done today, what were the wins, what were the not so wins, and then what else? What I plan to do tomorrow. So it just keeps me accountable. Then I get a shower and then just chill out. I mean, that sounds like I am the most optimal human in the world. I'll be honest, I will do 70% of that, if that. So I always try and get the same morning. It's fine. I can do the morning. I can do the gym. I can do the deep work, and then I can do the calls. But then after that, it's like anything else is a bonus, realistically. I've just turned my phone off thinking that was the last question, but it obviously wasn't. So that's the day. I think I went off on quite a tangent there, but that's the day. Are you into fitness? Yes. I used to do a lot of hybrid fitness, but then I got gammy knees. So no more running, no more crazy movements. I'm going to physio for it. But as soon as the physio is done, I'm back on it. I love running, love weights, love circuit stuff. High rocks was great. Once the knees are fixed, I'd like to do a marathon as well. And I'm kind of underplaying the fitness aspect, because when I started getting really, really into fitness and treating myself as an athlete, even though I was nowhere near an athlete, it helped me lock in with business. So the more I was concentrated with fitness and I could see the progress and how discipline got me to where I wanted to be, I was like, oh, if I do this for business, what happens there? What happens if I do this or whatever? And it was huge for me when I started looking at like the business as, almost like I'm not going to say entrepreneurial athlete, but if I started treating the business as its own athlete, like what happens if I focus on this or this and I just, lock in with it and stay disciplined? What happens? And then what tends to happen is things go very well. So yeah, fitness has bled into every area of my life. Where are you based? I'm based in Liverpool for now. So always have been since birth, apart from a few months here and there in like Spain and Greece. But yeah, I couldn't really pick up Spanish or Greek, so came back. But I would like to try out Cape Town, try out London. Where else? It's about it, really. Apart from that, Liverpool's great. What else? Do you just work all the time? Yes, probably. So, as I said, that like glorious nighttime routine that I outlined, it just doesn't get done that much. Usually, so let's say I get up at 7:45 and I'll do all the standard stuff that I outlined. Then it'll get to when I'm supposed to sign off, which is about 9:00. And then I kind of just work until 11, midnight, switch off the laptop and then just go to bed. I do work all the time, to be honest. But it's because it's almost addicting, because you can see the fruits of your labor in real time. And when you can see that, when your progress is so almost meteoric, you go from, well, I went from nothing to like 2K, and I was like, whoa. And then you just kind of work all day, building things in the business, trying things, learning on YouTube or whatever. And you go from 2K to 5K and you go, well, 5K, that's a lot of money, because 5K is massive. But then when you go to 10K, you go, shit, I can make some serious wedge online. And then you go, right, well, what if I worked all day, every day for the next year? And then you go from 10K to 50K. And then you think, well, why would I stop there? What happens if I did another year working all day, every day? And all I'm thinking about is business. what happens there? And it so far for me, it's just going like this. So yeah, it's not like I'm doing it against my own will. I enjoy it, and I think if you saw or if you see progress in your business in real time, like really quickly, not super quickly, but you can plot that graph and you can see it. I think you'll be, well, I assume you exactly the same. It's not difficult to work on your own business when you love it. So yeah. Best client you've ever worked with? I've got loads. I don't really tend to have bad experiences with a client. I have a great non-profit client called the Comms Network, or the Communications Network, and they were like one of the first big ticket sites that I did, and the client themselves, like the team, they're all great, and we're still friends now. I've done like 4 websites for them. They put me forward for a webinar, which was all about no code, and I presented to I don't know, like 200 non-profit CEOs, or whatever you want to call them, like head honchos at non-profits, and it was the first time I'd done public speak. It was on a webinar, so it wasn't like sat in front of like a big crowd. It was the first time I'd done a live presentation, and I was bricking it. It was so scary, but they set me on that path where now I can just sit in front of a camera and just chat nonsense for however long. So they really put me on the map, and I also now work with them on a retainer. I love them. I'm hopefully going out to Kansas this year to actually attend the yearly event that they put on, like the yearly conference. So that would be sick. They're the best client. I also had, for those who know, Dame Kelly Holmes. I don't want to butcher this, I'm pretty sure she's a 2-time gold medalist Olympian, like British Olympian. And I did that. That's the site that I'm proudest of, because it's sick. If you go to like damekellyholmestrust.org, you can see the site. It looks great. But that was an inbound lead from, I think it was like a £200 site that I'd done right at the start of my journey. And I just left my signature in the bottom of the site. And the person who owned the agency that was doing the design for the site clicked on my link, got in touch with me. So it was an inbound, and to have such a prestigious lead come through, it was just, yeah, it was amazing. The worst client, don't know. I don't really get them, to be honest. I don't know if it's lucky or just because I'm just the best, but I don't really get bad clients. If I had a bit, no. I wouldn't badmouth them anyway. Plans for the rest of the year. Broad, very broad. What are we now? So we are April, I think. Wednesday. Why am I saying days like it has any relevance? Later in April of 2024, at the time of recording, going down to London, filming with Iman's gang, celebrating my birthday. So me and Lucy, my girlfriend, were going down to London a few days early, enjoy all that, staying somewhere swanky. I can't remember where it is. Then recording, then coming back, then I'm just literally just working. Sad as it is, I'm just working. Then we've got New York for Squarespace Circle Day, so that's in September. Then hopefully Kansas in October, and then we're going to fly, hopefully, to Vegas and then over to LA for be a few weeks. Then that's about it. So the goal for this year has just been get the knees better, get up to 150k a month, do a few bits of travel. Although I was meant to go to Cape Town and Paris this year, and I cancelled both because I was too busy at work. But the goals are pretty simple. So, if I can get a few little travel-y bits in, great. But the main goal is stop having old man knees, get back to being fit, and not not fat. And this camera makes me look really fat as well. But anyway, that's by the by. Get fit again. Make loads of money. Get traveling where possible. Those are the plans. How are you getting on with your 30 before 30 list? So I put a story up not long ago about. So I used to have a blog. Well, I've still got a blog. It's called themanblueprint.com. And it's I don't even know what you'd call it, like a lifestyle blog. I don't know. But anyway, I did a 30 before 30 list when I was 24, I think. And it had like all these random things on. One of them was buy a barrel of whiskey. Did that. One was fly business class. I've still not done that, but I've got it booked for New York, which will be really cool. Live in London was one. Haven't done that yet. Hopefully will. Become a millionaire. That was number one. Not a millionaire yet. I'm getting there, but not there yet. Sure, I'll get there before 30. What else do we have? Eat at a Michelin star restaurant. Haven't done that yet, but hopefully I will soon. And you know what? I've always thought this about a Michelin star restaurant. I build it up, and I bet you it's not as good as like a Five Guys or a Domino's or something. But you just got to do it. You just got to do it. I'll leave the link in the description. There's a full list. I'm getting on okay with it. I think over the next year or so, I would just want to plow through them, because I think there's 30. I think I've done about 10, which is a bit of a poor showing, really. But I'll work on it. Do you find your accent holds you back? I thought it would, but it hasn't at all. I think it's, I don't know. No. People, because I get on calls with people mostly in the US, I don't think they even question the accent. They always say, oh, where are you from? Because obviously it's quite a funny accent. But it doesn't come with the stigma of the UK where it's like, ugh, Liverpool, ugh. So it doesn't hold me back. Even with UK clients, it's fine. Like, it is what it is. I've worked on my pronunciation better as well. So I speak a lot better. I say my ings instead of in, which is a good one. So I've honed it in, especially with these videos. How many hours do you work per week? Seems like you're always working. Kind of similar to the other question. It's if I was to put a weekly amount, I'd say about 75, 80 hours a week, something like that. So I work weekends, so it's not just within like a 5-day, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not within 5 days. So I'd say I probably work about 10 to 12 hours a day. Now, that's not like super intense, deep work. I would class an hour of work as getting back to emails, or, I don't know, moving project along but not working on it. I'd class that as work. I'd say when I'm not spending time in the gym or walking or doing, I don't know, don't do anything else. When I'm not spending time doing that, I am just working. So the majority of the day is creating content or working on a client website or like managing projects, whatever. So yeah, I'd say about 80. Next, I think we're coming to the end-ish. So you'd make a great podcast host. Any plans to start one? No, not really, but it will be cool. I'm literally in a podcast studio right now, and I've commandeered it to do videos. So maybe I will do one. I was meant to do one with, for those who know him, Justin Maybe, who's another Squarespace designer, and he had this really cool idea for us both to do like a podcast with people or together or whatever it may be. And I was like, yeah. Let me just get past. I was like really busy in February or March. And then I just completely forgot. And now I'm super busy with this course with Iman. And then I'm like, so I need to get back in touch with Justin because I'd quite like to do it. Maybe even I like going on podcasts. I find them enjoyable because I get to waffle on about myself. But I would like to do one maybe when I'm less like buried head with work. Skincare and jawline routine details, please. There isn't one. Well, funnily enough, I went to the dentist the other day and he was like, you have whatever these are called. He was like, you have ridiculously muscular ones. And I was like, cheers, mate. And he was like, no, it's not a good thing. It means that you like clench your jaw like that and you're all stressed and like you grind your teeth. And I was like, right, okay. But I think that gives off the impression that I have a better jawline than I do. Because when you look from the side, I don't know if you can even see it, like a pair of ping pong balls or something. And my skin's terrible, I think. Yeah, you can probably see it under this light actually. But in pictures, it doesn't pick it up, but my skin's crap, so I can't give any advice there. Could you do a video about pitching for biz? Because the IG gurus say attract and nurture, blah. Well, and then the next question was, same question as always, where can I get clients? So these two are solely about getting clients. I've got a video somewhere on this channel. I'm pretty sure there's two. There's definitely one that I've just recently put. I actually published it today, called "Increase Your Income in 30 Days," and that goes to. There's a really important part of that. It's called the. It's my own thing. What do I even call it? The stages of client acquisition, and basically there's 5 stages where you can find a client. So you need to meet a client where they are. To give you a brief overview, it's stage 1, you want to be in private network. So when a client needs a job or needs a job doing, they'll go, okay, who do I know in my network? And so they'll just ask someone. And then they'll be like, okay, if I can't find someone there, do I know someone who knows someone? So that is kind of both still private networks, like paid private networks or even non-paid private networks are good. Then if they, for some reason, can't find anything there, what they'll do is they'll go on LinkedIn and they'll ask their wider networks, like a public network. And they'll go, hey, I'm looking for a Squarespace designer, or I'm looking for a web designer, whatever. That's where you want to try and find them on social media. So I just search Squarespace, filter for 24 hours and recency, and then just go for the past 24 hours, do that once or twice a day. Then it'll be SEO. So they'll Google it, like Squarespace designer or best web designer, and they'll look for someone. So you want to be creating blog posts, YouTube content, whatever that comes up and gets them interested. But then when they Google it, they'll also be presented with people per hour, Upwork, Behance, Dribble, whatever other freelance platforms there are. And then you've got, if they still can't find anyone, they'll probably just give up and they'll go, oh, sod it. If it's meant to be, someone will just get in touch with me. And so that is when the like cold pitching and outbound email comes into play. But I think that's a waste of time, because even if you do find this one person, that's probably like 1 in, 1,000. And even then you need to convince them Squarespace is the best. You need to convince them that they need a full website rebuild, that Squarespace is the platform to do it on. Then you're the best person to do it. And then you need to have the call, actually agree a price, and then do the project from there. It's a waste of time, pointless. So yeah, I get all my clients now through referrals, private networks, which is kind of the same thing, public networks, aka LinkedIn, inbound through LinkedIn, inbound through YouTube, inbound through blog posts, inbound through on-page and off-page SEO, inbound through the Squarespace Expert Marketplace, people per hour, Upwork, Behance, Dribble, Contra, Contra. That's a paid platform. It's a bit crap, but you might pick up 1 or 2. What else? That's pretty much it, to be honest. If you pitch on those, or you actively improve those every single day for literally like a year or 2 years, then you'll be making a ridiculous amount of money. Oh, also long-term client relationships. So I do white label work for 4 or 5 big agencies, like one agency is a subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway. And yeah, I do a ton of work for those, and it's great because that's a referral, I guess. But basically, with white label work, agencies will just bring all the work to you. You charge a decent. Obviously, they're making multiples of what you're charging, but if you're charging a rate that you're happy with, great. And so I'll do that work for them. They do all the client comms and just say, Sam, here's a design, do this, and I'll go, sound. That's X amount, we agree, bang, done. So that's a really fun way to work. And that, I believe, is that. And I think that's all the questions as well. So I think I've gone on for quite a while there, but hopefully that's give you an insight into how I do what I do, how my day looks, how my week looks, everything, and the jawline routine as well. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give this a like and hit subscribe. And if you are interested in Six Figure Design Club, which I mentioned right at the start, I'm going to leave a link to that. Probably by the time you're watching this, it will be application only. So what you'll need to do is just fill in your details. We'll book a call. We'll see if you're a good fit. And if you are, then we can get you in. If you're not, I can tell you what to do to make you a good fit. So that is that. And I'll see you in the next one.